Hello student, welcome back to Mr. Lee Design Tech tutorial. So for this episode, we're going to look at a full case study, how you start your Bluetooth speaker cabinet design from start to finish. So if you have already done your design, you should roughly know that what kind of shape that you're going to create. Okay, and so for this case study, I'm not going to create very complex shape. Right, we will just look at the basic, 3D geometry creation plus wood joinery, and then we also look at how to apply the surface material, and also how to apply mesh. So please take note that in this tutorial, I'm going to use a full range of different type of shortcuts and commands. So if any moment that you're not sure that what I actually just said, okay, you can actually pause and look at the command bar on the top left corner here. Okay, so whenever I tap the command, you can actually see there's a suggestion list. Okay, and always pay attention that once I press confirm, right, what is the actual function that called by the command. All right, okay, let's just start it. Okay, so for the current video, what you can see is the basic interface. Okay, once you launch a Rhino 3D app, and before we start anything, okay, what I usually do is I will go to the file, right, and then look at the setting here, and then I'll increase the grip line to the 2000. Right, press enter, confirm, and I will make sure that on the left bottom side, okay, this persistent step option that's enable the end, near, midpoint, intersection, tangent, and quadrant. Right. On and often we may need to disable them. Okay. So for now we just activate these 6 or 7 different options. Okay. Just for now. And also you can make sure that you have turned on the gumball. Alright, and then use the grip snap. Okay. So first we're going to create a rectangular box that going to be the rough dimension of the Bluetooth speaker cabinet. Okay, and let's just create a little box. Okay, so I'm just clicking on the box, because this one we can just click on the button itself. You may wish to start with the absolute 0 point, which is where you can see the green line and the blue line, okay, merge. Let's click here, and then we're going to give a distance about, okay, for example, I'm going to give a distance about 180. Okay, so you go with the x-axis 180. That's actually it's fine. 180. All right, confirm, and then x is the y value. We're going to make it 200. Okay, slightly thicker, and then we're going to make it a little bit taller. All right, not too short. All right, because we want to give enough space for the main board. Okay, for the sound driver, okay, and also a little bit space for the internal wiring. Okay, so let's just give the height of 220. A little bit too short. Let's make it to 250. There you go. So I just created this slightly taller, okay, not so square box. I'm gonna use this one, right, as the rough dimension to create the rest of the parts. Okay, so in Rhino 3D, right, one of the very convenient options for you to create solid volume, right, based on a rough geometry is you can actually press Command and Shift button. Okay, Command Shift button. Let me turn on the keyboard. Okay, let me turn on the keyboard to show you. Show keyboard previewer. Alright, so I just turn on the keyboard preview on the bottom left here. Okay, so when I say Command Shift, look at the keyboard preview. Okay, Command Shift. Okay, so when you press these 2 buttons at the same time, okay, you can actually select the individual surface in your model. Right. So if you don't press and when you click, okay, you can't actually select the individual, okay, surface, corner, or control point. Alright. So for now, let me just show you. You can actually Command Shift, click on the surface, and you can manipulate from here. Alright. Or let's just undo it. Okay. Or you can Command Shift, click on a particular edge. Okay. So now you can control the individual edge. Or you can actually control the control point. Okay. Let's just go to the extrusion vertex. Okay. And from here, you can control the individual control point. See that? So Command Shift is a very powerful combination of a single surface edge or vertex control command, right? And we're going to use pretty often, so you're going to make use of it. All right, always remember Command Shift. Okay, look at the keyboard preview. Command Shift, and then you can actually click on individual. Okay, you can even click on multiple different surface. Let's click these two, and then I can actually just bring them up. See, you can then change the geometry. Okay, let's just undo it. Okay, I'm going to turn off the keyboard preview for now. Alright, so next we're going to use the current, rectangular long box to create the panel. Alright, so for your year 9 Bluetooth speaker project, right, very commonly you're going to use a 12 mm thick pine wood, right? 12 mm thick pine wood. So if I know that I'm going to create a little wooden cabinet with some finger joint along the four sides. Okay, means the top, side, and the bottom. I'm gonna do finger joint, and then I will just do a butt joint in front, and then I'm going to reserve 4 screw hole at the back. Okay, to do another type of screw. Okay, butt joint. So I will just use Command Shift. I will click on one of the surface. Once I click, I will hold the Option key and I actually duplicate the surface out. Okay, so now you can see that I duplicate the surface, and now I'm going to extract this as a surface into a 3D. Alright, so you can click on the gumball, the little red dot here, click on it, increase 12 mm, just type 12, and this will become a solid blocks. Okay, and you can do the same thing for the rest of the top. Okay, and because this box is symmetrical, so I just need to extract one side of the panel. Okay, so left and right, I just need the right. Top and bottom, I just need the top. Okay, same thing. Option out. Click the surface, increase 12. So now I have the top and the right. Okay, and then I'm going to keep this one as what it is, but I will go back to the front, like the 4 window view. I will try to move the 12 mm panel into position before I delete the box. Alright, and let's just click on both. Let's take a look. As we're going to put butt joint front and back, right? So we got to shrink it down 12 mm. So you can see that each of the big grip is 10 mm, and each of the small grip is going to be 2 mm. So I'm going to just drag it 10. Okay, this is 10, and then 1, 2, 2 more. All right. So this is how I shrink it, and then now I can delete this. Okay, this rough guideline, the guiding block. Once I have this one, okay, the next thing is I'm going to create the little finger joint. Okay, so currently we are using the box joint cutter. And of course, this is going to be made manually. So in your 3D CAD, this will be just a visual reference to tell people that, oh, you have using the box joint to joining all the 4 corners. Okay, so not to worry, we are just using, based on the 12 mm thickness, we're going to create a 12 by 12 by 12 little boxes. Just step here, alright, click 12, 12, 12. Alright, so now you can see that there is a little box being created. I'll move it in place. And what I'm going to do is I will try to use one of the special command, which is called array along curve. So click this one, array along curve. I'm going to select the path, which I can select the outer path of this, polysurface edge. And from here, you can see that I can actually select, how many items array along the path or what will be the distance. So I'm going to keep the distance about 12, right? Update. And when I keep it 12, means that they are actually, aligned side by side. So I'm going to increase, I'm going to increase this as 2, so times 2. Alright, then it becomes, alternate. And when it's done, just press enter to confirm. So now you can see that, if I move this away, you can see that, the little square block, right, is being aligned along the path, individually, one by one, with a 12 mm spacing. Okay, let's just undo it for now. And you can notice that the last one, right, okay, is a little bit away from the panel, okay? So just keep in mind that in actual production, right, you don't want this thing to be placed in front, okay? You don't want this thing to be placed in front. So I will keep this one, the fully single off cut to be the front, okay? So that means the speaker is going to be installed at the front here. And this will be the back, all right? This will be the back. Next, we're going to group all of these little blocks together. So using Command G group all of them together so that when I move, okay, they will be selected as one single part. Okay, and when it's done, we're going to use the Command Boolean different. Click the panel that you're going to keep first. Type in Boolean different. Okay, so now you can see the selection Boolean different. Enter the conform. You may choose delete input. Okay, I'm going to click the block and press conform. Yeah, there you go. So now this is being done. All right, a nice join, a nice box join color. Of course, all right, if you look at the other side, right, okay, we can actually, just undo this one first. When we boolean different, we can also keep the cutter. Okay, so you can disable the delete input. Click the cutter, conform. All right, finish. Once done, we can move this aside first, and then we're going to move the top panel back to where it should be. Okay, why I'm showing you that to keep the cutter, because the next thing is we're going to click on the top, right? And I'm going to use Boolean different again. I'm not going to delete the input because I want to keep this panel. Okay, click finish. So now you can see that I have just created the finger joint. Alright, perfectly matched, no mistake. Okay, perfectly matched and nice. Alright, once done, the next step is gonna be mirror this thing over. So we go to the front. Right, we're gonna type mirror, M-I-R-R-O-R. Okay, remember that we actually choose to stepping at the midpoint here. So we can just align at the midpoint. Click to conform, hold on to the shift key, and then choose to mirror on the other way. When it's done, you can just click this one, Boolean again, Boolean different, click not delete input, and there you go. We have just created the finger joint for the top panel. Okay, let's just undo. Go back to this position. Alright. The next thing is we are going to duplicate this to the bottom and then to cut it out. So for now we can delete or we can just hide it. Hide the color. Alright. We're going to choose the top panel. We're going to use the command mirror. Okay, step to midpoint and duplicate to the bottom. As you may aware that when we mirror the bottom, actually it's mirrored over. Okay, not to worry, just bring it up. Alright. And next thing what to do, we can just choose these two layer panel as the original, and then we type in Boolean different. Okay, click the bottom panel as the color, conform, and it's done. So now if I move out, you can see that all the finger joint is being done. Let's just undo a little bit. Alright, once you have finished this one, okay, you may then start to consider what will be the next. Okay, what will be the next? As usual, for Bluetooth speaker, you may actually need to use 3 different type of joinery for your product. Okay, so you may start to consider that. Do you want to do a rebate for the front, okay, or a rebate for the back? So I would suggest to have the rebate at the back here, because since this part is no longer a full finger joint, right? Let's keep a rebate at the back for now, right? What you need to do is, we're going to create the front panel. So we go to the front view. Okay, we go to the front view. We can then use this rectangle, corner to corner, drag it from the corner to the other corner. Once done, choose the curve, the rectangle curve, go back to perspective mode. Now you can see that there is a little rectangular outline along the four sides of the finger joint panel. Okay, use the gumball, click extrude 12 mm. Now you just create the surface, and then you can use the cap option, right? CAP cap, cap it, and you have the front panel. Alright, so this will then be considered as a butt joint. That's a butt joint, alright. But what about the back? Okay, so if you want to create a little rebate at the back here, okay, very simple. We can then go to the right view, right? We can click on the option key and then use the arrow to drag and duplicate another one out. Okay, once duplicate, you can see that now it's perfectly aligned at the back of the cabinet. And what we want is to allow this thing sink in half of the thickness, which is going to be 6 mm, so -6. Alright, once it's sink in, we go back to perspective mode. Alright, and you can see currently the back and the cabinet is kind of overlapping each other. And so you want to delete and make a rebate. Okay, what you do, you click the back and then you type in Boolean different, click top, side and bottom panel, confirm. And once you confirm, right, and now you should be able to get a very nice and clean rebate for the backing. Okay, the backing are now then considered as done. So I'm gonna move it in, and you can see, right, the size pretty nice, mesh perfectly, no problem. Alright, and of course for a realistic model, right, okay, the front part, alright, you definitely don't want to miss out the front part. Okay, you want to open a little nice hole, right, for the speaker drive, the sound driver to be inserted in. But of course, for this case study, we are not going to put the actual speaker components here because it will increase the rendering time. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is just put a mesh in front only. Okay, just put a mesh in front only. Alright, and you can actually put the mesh as one full size panel. Okay, or you can just put it around the hole here. Alright, let's proceed to the next step. We're going to open a circular hole. So for this size cabinet, you can actually use the 80 mm speaker, which is the standard version. Let's go to the front. Go to the front view. And at the front view here, you can then use the little circle, or we can use cylinder. Both will work. Allow the cylinder to be start from the absolute cross surface 0 here. And you can type in radius, or you can just change the diameter. We change the diameter. Okay, change the value to be 70 because that's the size of the hole. Alright, once you confirm the diameter, go back to perspective, and you can see, you can actually punch this inwards. Okay, so now I just drop a cylindrical shape. I can then click on the front panel, type in Boolean different. Okay, I want to delete the input. I will click this block and done. Of course, if you are not happy with the size or the height of the hole, you may actually want to try to click, hold on the Command Shift, click the inner surface, and you can then adjust the position of the hole. You don't have to undo and retrim the hole. You can just use Command Shift and then choose the internal surface and change where the hole you want it to be. So I actually want the hole to be slightly higher, not too low. And when it's done, because I want the driver to be a little bit away from the main board, So once done, next thing, I'm going to make a nice chamfer or radius, Or maybe I should show you, the difference between chamfer and radius. Okay, let's just move this thing a little bit higher. And then I'm going to mirror this thing over. Let's just go to the front. Alright, go back to perspective. And I'm going to choose, click on this one, Command T, trim, done. Okay, let's just join this little surface. Alright, so now I open two different holes. Okay, the reason is I want to show you the difference between chamfer and fillet. Okay, so first let's check chamfer edge. Okay, we're going to type in the value of 11.9. Okay, don't try 12. 12 may not work because you need to give a little bit leftover thickness. Okay, so if we just type in 11.9 as the value, update, click on the edge, confirm, finish. So this is how it will look when you choose chamfer. Let's try fillet edge. So you can just type in fillet and then choose fillet edge. Same thing, 11.9, 11.9, confirm. Click on the outer edge, confirm again. So now you have two different type of speaker driver profile. Right, depends on your design language. Okay, you can choose either one. Okay, you can choose either one. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to cancel this one. Okay, I'm going to just choose chamfer. Alright, for this particular case study. Alright, so chamfer H 11.9. Click finish, done. Alright, so once it's done, I can then proceed to create one single surface for the mesh. You may not understand why I need to create one single surface for the mesh, but soon you will know. So we're going to click the curve that we created previously, move it to the front, use the plane as command. Planar surface, sorry. Use planar surface, done. So now we actually created the little surface. We're going to set this thing as a mesh later on. So for now, we're going to choose this one surface. Right, we're going to bump it into, for example, layer 1. Make it red, not to worry. Just keep it red, it's fine. You want to just minus 0.05. Alright, so give a little bit distance. Once done, you can then disable the layer by turn off the light bulb here. Turn the light bulb here. Once you turn it off, they are still there, it's just you can't see them. For a better visual, I'm going to first apply the material, the surface material. So I'm going to choose all the panel. I'm going to choose all the panel. I'm going to click on this little white dot here. I click on the white dot. This will expand the other sub windows for you to add in different material. For different material, is actually plaster. I'm going to click this drop down menu and click add import from material library. So in material library here, you can see there's lots of different options. So for this case, you go to wood. Once you go into wood, and you may look for the particular timber that you will use. So very likely you will be using pine. So just look for pine. Pine is here. I'm going to use a little bit glossy type of pine. So I would like to use silver pine. And it should be polished, open, confirm, and apply. And it's done. You may just want to ask, how come there's nothing happening here? One of the reasons is because you are not in render mode. So let's choose render. Look at that. Alright, nice pine cabinet. Let's just hide this line, hide it. But you may just think about, how come it looks so thick? The reason is all the geometry has no radius along the edge. So that's the reason they look so thick. To make it look realistic, first thing, you're going to change the environment first. To change the environment, look at the panel, at the bottom right corner here. If you cannot look for the environment, you just click on the gear drop down menu, activate the environment. Once done, you can see the option. So environment here, you may just scroll it down a little bit. Currently, we are using a standard studio view. Click on the add button, import from environment library. We're going to use my favorite environment, which is the warehouse. Just click and open. Once open, you may see the warehouse is being activated, and now we need to go to render. Same thing, if you cannot find it, just click the drop down menu. Activate rendering. And under rendering here, you can then choose the background. We're going to choose background as gradient. Give a little bit gradient, gray color. We're going to choose the wall. We're going to choose the environment for reflection. Drop down menu, click warehouse, and you may notice immediate change of the reflection. And we also change the lighting, okay, from studio to warehouse. And when it's done, you may notice the immediate change of the environment. You may also want to choose either you're going to use a solid color for background or you want to choose a gradient. But anyway, we're going to keep this as what it is for now. Go back to the environment. And you may want to change the lighting reflection. Okay, so here you can change the lighting reflection. Let's change a little bit to have a better angle of the reflection. Let's just move around until you find a perfect lighting environment. So I may probably just choose this one. It looks fine to me. Okay, and when it's done, you may also want to turn on the sun. Alright, just turn on the sun. Use menu control. Of course, now it's too bright. Not to worry. We can go to the lighting setting here. Alright, look for the sun. Change the intensity into 0.4. Enter. Okay, and then change the skylight to be 0.6. Enter. Alright, it may look a little bit too dark. Let's increase to 0.8. 0.8. Enter. Alright, that's much better and comfortable. Reason I turn on light is because I want to have a very obvious shadow underneath the product. So I'm going to drop it a little bit lower, a little bit lower. I'm going to change direction, a little bit lower. Alright, perfect. Okay, once everything's set right, I will then choose the entire object. Okay, look for the property panel, which is on the top right corner here. Okay, look for this option called the edge softening. Okay, click turn on. Okay, for this size, I'm going to use a 0.3. Enter. And click and see one more time. And now you may immediately notice that all the seam or the joining edge, okay, they are now more visible because you have just created a soft edge for all the geometry. Okay, see that the soft edge will actually make the object looks more real, right? Because nothing's going to be super sharp. And if you are not satisfied, you can then increase the value further. Okay, let's increase to 0.5. Let's look at what's going on. Okay, it looks better, but a little bit too thick for now. Okay, let's drop it to 0.4 then. We will drop a little bit to 0.4. Enter. Oops. What's going on? Yes. Yes, there you go. Okay, everything looks good. Except one thing. Okay, except one thing. You may notice that the wood grain, right, for the top panel is fine because you can see that when you're cutting finger joint, right, the wood grain should follow the direction of the finger. But the side panel actually is wrong, right? They are not following the panel. Okay, so you may want to change the panel, the wood grain direction. Okay, what you should do is go back to the layer, right? And you may want to open a new layer, for example, layer 2, right? And once you go to layer 2, click on it, choose the side panel, pop them into layer 2, go back to the property, pop back to layer 2. Alright, once you go to layer 2, you may just click on the material panel here. Because you have already imported pine, so you can then choose the silver pine polish. Same thing, apply, and take a look first. Alright, and you notice that you want the wood grain to be vertical. Okay, so we're going to click on the material again, the surface. And we then click on the texture here. Once you get inside, right, looking for the option of rotation, okay, 90 degree, enter, and apply. Hang on, I think I just forgot to create a unique editable copy. Alright, let's copy. Okay, there's one mistake I just made, okay, and you may also encounter the same thing, right? Because when I choose the layer, I didn't create a unique copy to duplicate. So now you can see that there's a silver pine polish and there's a silver pine polish 1. Okay, let's cancel and go back to layer 1. Okay, we're going to choose silver pine polish 1. Look for the rotation, right? Actually, I want to change to 0 for here. Okay, just apply 0. Okay, done. So now you can see that the wood grain are now follow in the logical order. Okay, the front will be horizontal, right? Or you can actually change vertical. That is up to you. And the side, all right, you gotta make sure if you want to make finger joint, right, the wood grain must follow the direction of the finger joint. Okay, otherwise the finger will just stand off once you try to cut it from the box joint cutter. And you can see that the grain are all now follow exactly how it should be created. But last but not least, remember we created a layer 1 here, which originated to be red in the shaded mode. Okay, remember the red layer here? Uh, we now need to go to random mode. Okay, we're going to make a mesh. Okay, so do not try to create a wire mesh manually by drafting all the holes or whatever, because you can actually import it or edit it directly from the material library. Okay, so for now we're going to the layer edit here. Okay, I have already imported a screen hexagon shape. Let's choose this one and apply, and you may notice that immediately you can see a screen mesh is being applied. Right, it's being applied. And if you find this is a bit too loose, right, what you can do is click on the material, go into the picture, and you may look for the size. Okay, so we're trying to create the size of so now it's 6. Let's drop it to 2 by 2. Apply. All right, and you may see that it's getting thicker. Let's add a little bit minus 0.05. Minus 0.5. Alright, better. And now become a double mesh. Of course, you can think about what if you don't want it to look so transparent. Okay, so you can see here transparency. We want to increase the transparency. We want to increase the reflectivity or gloss finish. Or you may also want to click inside here and fine tune the option. Right. For example, I'm going to drop the size to be even smaller. I drop to 1, apply, and apply. So when I drop to 1, right, you can feel that there is a very tiny mesh at the surface of the speaker. And if you want to make it more opaque, just duplicate, minus 1, duplicate, minus another 1. So just duplicate a few layers, and then you can actually create the mesh for the speaker. And you can just create a few more. Alright, you are actually adding a slightly thicker layer in front. Alright, so you can actually see that the layer gets a little bit thicker, and that will make the mesh more realistic. Okay, because typically a mesh is not opaque but also not transparent. Okay, now you can see that. Okay, the effect of the wire mesh. And let's just undo this one. I just want to keep one single layer because I want to show you the different type of setting. So this is the hexagon mesh. Okay, what if you want to change to the dotted one? Okay, let's go back to the material, add import from material library, and you can look for product design, and you may find that the little screen dot. Okay, let's open this one. Open it, and then click to edit. Alright, change the size to 2, apply, and apply. So now we just added the other type of mesh, which is the dotted one. And you can see it's very nicely to mount at the surface of the wooden cabinet. Alright, so once all this are done, right, the last but not least, of course, right, we're going to create a little snapshot, okay, to showcase the objects, okay, structure, joinery, and all different parts. So for now, I will just go to the snapshot. I will click on the animation, Okay, so animation here, I want to increase the constant frame to about 100. Yeah, and then animate shot, say restoration, click OK. And I'm going to do the first snapshot. 0, 1, apply. Make sure you select all of these, apply again. And when it's done, right, I'm going to change the angle a little bit to make a more interesting and dynamic look. Of course, first thing, the mesh is going to be split away from the front panel. And then the front panel is also get moved out a little bit. Okay, and then I want the top to be moved a little bit higher. Okay, the back move it a little bit far. This one minus 100. Okay, maybe minus another 100. This one move 200. And do a little bit more vertical angle to showcase all the different parts. Okay, so now I may want to move the front part a little bit further away. And I'm going to do a snapshot. Okay, number 2, apply. Choose everything, apply again. You may then immediately click on the snapshot 01 and see what's going on. So I just clicked it and you can see that all the parts are now reversed back to the original position. Okay, let's double click on snapshot 2 and they will all be spread out. Okay, so you can actually utilize this thing to showcase the internal components and the structure, okay, the spatial relationship of all the parts. You may even do a little bit, okay, angle shoot, how this is going to be assembled. For example, I'm going to move it to the back. Okay, allow this thing to be minus 200. Okay, join back, and this can move 200. Join back. Okay, I can do a second snapshot. Okay, show how the back of the two panel. Okay, close up back, and then click snapshot number 3. Apply all layers, and then I can close the top. Close the top. A little bit low, not too low. Go back a little bit. So I close this one. I can do a side view. Do another snapshot again. Snapshot number 4. Apply. Apply all. When it's done, alright, I will close the back cap. Okay, I may want to change angle again. Change back to the front. Snapshot number 5. Apply all layer. And last but not least, zoom in, close the front, and put back the mesh. And do a nice little hero shot. Alright. Last one. 06. Okay, all layers. So now let's take a look. Okay, original. It goes back to the original angle. Alright, this is how everything starts. You may then click on number 2, how the entire cabinet is being dismantled and how you want them to be joined back. So side panel join back, top panel down, yeah, and then the backing close up and fully assemble. Alright, so it's not necessary to always go back with the sequence. Alright, one thing good about snapshot is you can always jump step. For example, I can go from snapshot 6 and then back to snapshot 2. So I can just open up from here. If I'm happy, I will also jump from number 2 to number 4. Alright, so you can see the top and the side will all close up together. Okay, and from here, I will just go to the final shot. Alright, so everything will just merge and join. So just to explain, a snapshot does not follow the sequence how you capture individual scenario. Right? it will actually memorize each of the parts positions. Okay, so that's how Snapshot works. Okay, once you familiarize all the function, you can then become like a filmmaker, right? You can shoot a little short film, right? How you want to showcase your product, and that's all. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you again next time.